But first and foremost, the new communal clashes. I mean, take a look at the first newspaper that I've opened up. This here is the Times of India. Communal clashes in 4 NCR districts, 2 home guards that have been killed, 30 people have been injured as mobs set cop vehicles and outposts on fire. Why did this happen? Well, because there was a Vishwa Hindu Parishad rally that was being taken out.
There was a rally that
was
being taken out in Nu.
And Nu is predominantly a Muslim area.
Okay. So what we understand from the readings is that as the the yatra was going on, and it's been happening for the last few years, this yatra has been taken out in Nu district, and of course it's been a tense situation. There have been a lot of policemen also guarding this yatra because they know it's going through a communally sensitive point. And then a group of youngsters are said to have stopped the yatra, and then the altercations happened, and then there was stone pelting that happened, and later the situation became quite tense. What we understand, of course, some people would have printed a little later, but here the Hindustan Times says that at least 200 people were injured and dozens of vehicles were torched as the communal violence engulfed Haryana's Nu on Monday. Now, after clashes between Hindu and Muslim groups during the religious procession by Bajrang Dal and Vishwa Hindu Parishad, said police. Now, there are also reports coming in, Kabir, that this particular clash could have happened because there was the presence of a cow vigilante who could have been present in this yatra, and that is could be one of the reasons why this entire thing took up, is one of the reasons that has been put forward.
There was a particular name, an accused called Manesar,
yes,
was a supposed cow vigilante. He was part of this procession. This Shobha Yatra of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad.
This person,
I mean, look at the extent of damage right behind you, Varghese. These are cop cars. These are not your everyday civilian cars. These are vehicles that belong to the cops, cavalry that must be part of that Vishwa Hindu Parishad, the Shobha Yatra. Now, the cow vigilante being part of this Shobha Yatra, and this cow vigilante that is allegedly been part of that particular lynching that happened of Junaid and one other person earlier this year.
He's accused in that, and because he's accused in that, there was already objection to this, but there was some kind of a publicity that was put across saying that he would be coming in. There was some social media messages that were put out, and that's why you have an internet ban in all these areas as well.
Internet ban carried out till the 2nd of August, which rightly so, because social media is something that the police say they are going to be monitoring over the next couple of days. Now, the clash points, take a look at this. The clash points, it originated in Nu, but after that Sona, Nalhar, Ballabgarh and Hodal, it has spread across.
Yes.
And this the enmity, the embers of revenge, I mean, there are proper cars that have been set on fire from both sides of these communal clashes. If this is what happened in Nu, then well, in Sona, the other community has taken revenge on the other community.
So
it
has resulted in a series of cyclical violence that has happened. Also, the Hindu is in fact reporting, saying that several hundred devotees, including women, took shelter inside the Nala temple and remained trapped inside, surrounded by the mob for around 5 hours before the police reinforcements from neighboring 4 districts came and rescued them. So this was what they were talking, that thousands of people are stuck inside temple premises because of the violence. Now, how this this was something that was avoidable completely.
For example, take a look at this, Varghese. These are visuals from Sona.
Okay.
And this is not Nu. This is Sona that you're looking at. And something that originated in Nu, the embers were felt in Sona. And the embers were felt. Take a look at that. I mean, complete destruction. Shops that have been left gutted, bikes, cars, vehicles, innocent people's bikes, cars and vehicles. Stone pelting was, of course, reported across all newspapers. I mean, let's take a look at
this is the story that in fact the Hindu, as I was pointing out, the presence of a cow vigilante. Tension was brewing in the region after Bajrang Dal member Monu Manesar, a suspect in the kidnapping and murder of 2 young Muslim men in Rajasthan's Bharatpur over suspicion of cow smuggling in February, said that he and his team would be part of this procession. The local people opposed Monu's visit to Nu, saying it would disturb communal harmony. According to witness, violence broke out around noon when around half a dozen vehicles, including black sports utility vehicle carrying devotees, reached Nu Chowk, leading to rumors that Monu was inside one of those vehicles. Now,
Absolutely.
this rumor is what triggered the entire, pelting of stones and the stopping of this yatra.
Let me ask you this question. If the administration on the ground knew that this is going to be a sensitive area where the VHP Shobha Yatra is going to be traversing through, and if they knew that Monu Manesar was part of this particular yatra,
see this,
knowing
of
what
course
Monu
there was,
Manesar has been
you don't
accused
require
of.
you don't require police intelligence to tell you that this is going to be quite provocative.
Right.
Already, because they have expressed, a lot of people have expressed anger about his presence. Now,
Monu Manesar is the one who picked up those two guys, Junaid, on suspicion of
who's been accused of, rather.
accused of in that case, and these two people were burnt alive inside the car when they were kidnapped.
Well, Monu Manesar's case goes on several fronts. One is that they were, it's about abduction, and then it's about torturing them as well, and then murder. And at the same time, also the question about taking law into its hands, and it had become a sensational case in Rajasthan and across the country as well. But this particular rumor of him being present is what has resulted in this entire thing. And I'll just read some of those details in the articles as well. In the videos emerging from Nu on social media, the mob carrying lathis could be seen throwing stones in vehicles and setting them afire. Now, Chief Minister Manohar Lal Qatar has in fact gone ahead and appealed for peace, saying that all issues could be resolved with dialogue. The procession being taken out in Nu annually. Now, it's something that has been happening for every year. The procession being taken out in Nu annually for the past 3 years begins with the offering of holy water at a temple in Nalar before it culminates in Punhana. Now, 20 companies of Central Armed Police Forces, including 12 Rapid Action Force and 4 Central Reserve Police Force teams, will be deployed in Haryana. Now, Yogendra Yadav, political activist, has also reacted in this.
What did he say?
Well, what he's saying is that in a press statement, he said that the clash was a much-awaited riot that the BJP had been trying to engineer in the Mewat region. That is what Yogendra Yadav has in fact said.
All right. So Yogendra Yadav, alleging that this is in fact pre-planned, planted, and strategized. I mean, some of those visuals of people pelting those stones from atop the terrace on the people, and the policemen were placed at a distance where even I felt that it's as if they don't even care that the other side is pelting stones.
The violence has been in such a thing that the police were deployed in certain areas, but the continuing violence is something of a concern. Now, I think the Tribune has put up one small statistics over here. What it says is that over 80 vehicles and a police post were set ablaze by a mob running into thousands. There were reports of mob briefly holding hostage about 2,000 people. I was talking about the devotees stuck in the temple in the area. Now, Home Minister Anil Vij had even suggested airdropping central forces for the rescue if the situation warranted. Now, this is
we've had to, of course, turn the pictures color tone to grayscale because. Well, of course,
this yatra,
the
clashes began as the mob hurled stones at the Brij Mandal Jalabhishek Yatra. 3 year, it's been annual yatra that's been carried out for the last 3 years, which is organized by the VHP and the Bajrang Dal. Now, the past several days, tension was palpable in Nu, and warnings are learned to have been issued against the procession, as it was including several cow vigilantes.
But what was the government and the administration doing when these warnings were being sent across?
See, that's what I was...
Section 144 has been imposed.
Section
Internet
144
is down.
net is suspended. Schools have been shut in
Schools have been
districts.
shut down. And this is not just in Nu, in Gurugram as well.
Yeah,
schools have been shut down because they know that the flares could spread across the Haryana national capital region. Now, over here it says in the Indian Express, it says, as communal violence flared in the district, internet services were suspended, prohibitory orders were imposed, and the state home minister sought additional forces from the center, claiming that 3,000 to 4,000 people were being held hostage in a temple. They were evacuated late in the evening. The deceased home guards were identified as Neeraj and Guru Sevak because 3 people have been killed. Amongst those 2 were home guards who said they were attached to Khedki Dholak police station in Gurugram. Police said another unidentified person was declared dead in the hospital. By evening, violence had spread to Sona Chowk near Gurgaon, with some vehicles set on fire and shops vandalized, allegedly by Bajrang Dal members this time around. Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar, well, you know, he took to the microblogging website. I'll just read that tweet out for you. It says, आज की घटना दुर्भाग्य है. मैं सभी लोगों से प्रदेश में शांति बनाए रखने की अपील करता हूं. दोषी लोगों को किसी भी कीमत पर बख्शा नहीं जाएगा. उनके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी. Strictest action will be taken against the perpetrators. That's the word coming out from the Chief Minister.
The kind of injuries that they have suffered, the deceased include Neeraj and Gursevak. Hodal DSP Sajjan Singh sustained severe bullet wound in the head, while the Inspector Sandeep Kumar, in charge of the crime unit in Gurugram Sector 40, suffered gunshot wound to his stomach. Sub-Inspector Devendra Kumar from Kherki Daula Police Station, Gurugram, was injured too. 12 of the injured police personnel have been admitted to Medanta Hospital in Gurugram. So, I mean, they were suffering bullet injuries. So, some guns were also out there. That means, according to the police, the clashes broke out between when the yatra was stopped by a group of youth near Kedla Mode in Nu. Stones were allegedly hurled at the procession, and at least 4 cars, part of that procession, were set afire. People